And welcome back, everyone, to the Crimson Tide Sports Network Facebook page. This is Roger Hoover, glad to welcome you to a Radio Classics interview, and that's presented by Alabama One Credit Union. They've been voted Tuscaloosa's best credit union and best mortgage lender. Alabama One offers low-rate auto, mortgage, and business loans, plus protection for it all with Alabama One Insurance. You can visit any of their 9 local branches, or you can check them out online at alabama1.org. Alabama One, a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics. We're getting near the end of our Radio Classic games that have been airing across the network on Saturdays, and last Saturday we had the 2018 College Football Playoff National Championship game. Alabama defeated Georgia, and the man that snapped really every snap for the Alabama offense that day joins us now, one of the captains from the 2017 team, Bradley Bozeman. Bradley, roll Tide. How's everything going, man?
Going well, going really good. Just trying to keep everything normal as we can, and just continue to try to get better every day. So.
Well, you're with the Baltimore Ravens, and you're getting ready for an NFL season. Just what the last few weeks been like, and not maybe getting to go to practice and work out like you normally would.
It's definitely been a lot different. By now we're in, I think, week 6 of our off-season program, and usually with all the other teammates, and we're joking around and lifting weights and doing football, and now it's all virtual. So everything's online. Just finished with some meetings actually. And it was, it's kind of is what it is, and we're trying to, continue to learn and progress in this offense. So.
And for you, you've had an opportunity kind of similar to your Alabama career. You get on the field a little bit early in your playing time, and then it grows into a starting role, whether at guard, or there's some discussion that maybe you'll be the center for the Ravens moving forward. Just what's that learning curve been like in the NFL, and did your Alabama experience really help that?
Yeah, I think my experience there really helped. You had a lot of talent there at Alabama. You had, Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen and Dalvin Tomlinson and all those greats that come through there, and that really helps you prepare for this level, because everybody is on that level. That's something I really learned. I think the biggest adjustment was everyone's really good and everybody's getting paid to be here and play at a high level. So no matter who you're going against, you're getting their best. And that's something you have to pack your lunch every day and come to work. So I think that aspect really helped me in this transition.
Of course, at Alabama, and now in your time with the Ravens, you got to block in front of some really dynamic players, especially at the quarterback position. You look at what Jalen and Tua were able to do, and now you get to block for Lamar Jackson. Just how much fun is it blocking for him, and then kind of later in the play seeing what he's up to?
Oh, it's a ton of fun. I mean, Lamar, like I tell everyone, Lamar's a better person than he's a football player. I mean, the guy is the captain of our team. He's the guy we look to, and just really happy to have him behind us, and he gets us the O-line out of a lot of trouble when we do give up that misstep and let a guy go. So he definitely saves our butts a lot. So.
Well, that's really good to hear. And of course, we're talking to you about the 2018 College Football National Championship game against Georgia. And for you, it was your senior season. You were captain that year. Just what were your emotions like kind of going into that game, knowing the preparation and the good work you guys had done the previous game against Clemson?
We knew we had to go in and bring our best game. Obviously we didn't bring that the first half, but then we came back the second half and did what we had to do. I think, we did as a captain of that team. I remember it was very emotional to kind of start the pregame and just the talks and everything going in it, because, we were there for a reason. We wanted to bring home a national championship. We'd gotten beat the year before by Clemson, and, we had that in 2018. That was not our goal. Wasn't just to beat Clemson. It was to go on and win the national title. It was such a tremendous time, and, such just an amazing experience, and then follow it up with proposing to my wife after the game. So I think it was a very special night for me.
It certainly was, and a great moment for the Crimson Tide. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, what you were able to propose on the field to Nikki afterwards. You mentioned the change you guys had during the game. Jalen started the first half for the Crimson Tide. What was the discussion like in the locker room? When were you told that Tua would be taking over?
So probably about halfway through halftime. Coach came in and was talking to Jalen and Tua right there in front of where that line sits. He said, we're putting into it. Tua's coming in. Jalen, stay ready, stay focused, and Jalen did. He stayed the course. He was ready. He was humbled. He was excited for Tua and just wanted to win the game. So I think that transition, Tua came in and showed what he could do as quarterback. And a lot of guidance from Jalen along the year that really helped him. And of course, helped our team. So it was, that it was definitely kind of weird, not gonna lie, but it worked out. So.
Well, you're the starting center for the Crimson Tide all season long, as Jalen is the starting quarterback. How much had you really worked with Tua in some practice situations getting ready for a spot that could happen like that?
We worked out all the time. We did quarterback center exchange every day. We rotated centers. We, made sure everyone kind of had reps in it because you don't know what's going to happen in the course of a game. You want to, you want to be prepared for every situation. So I got a lot of opportunities to work with Tua and for him to get in there and, throw around some calls and kind of just play in that role. So.
Of course, Alabama was down 20-7 in the third quarter, and a lot of people will talk about the later touchdown that Calvin had, and of course the final play of the game. But I imagine for you guys, just some of those drives to get in field goal range, allow Andy Papanastis to have an opportunity to draw you a little bit closer. That had to be a good feeling, knowing that you were able to chip away at Georgia's lead.
Yeah, for sure. It was great to be able to move the ball and get the ball rolling because we didn't have much success with that to start. And then once we got to kind of our groove and started rolling and clicking, it was definitely a great effort on our part to get us back into the game. So.
And then, as I mentioned, Calvin Ridley had the touchdown to help tie it up with 3:49 left to go. And then the game does go to overtime, and really two of the more famous plays in Alabama football. First of all, what can you tell us about when Alabama gets the ball back? What happened on the first down play? And then what was the discussion like getting ready for 2nd and 26?
So it was just go out, play our game, do what we have to do. Obviously, Georgia had made the field goal, to go up. And then I think it was the sack in 2nd and 26. I just remember turning to all the guys like, look, this game's not over. This is what we're here for. We're made for this. We're built for this. Let's get the first down and let's go score and win this game. And the guys blocked their butts off up front, and Brian Dable had the guts to go for the long ball. So we had ran that play so many times and scored so many times. So, we're just getting up, getting ready to play and do our thing. And it all worked out. So that's what we were practicing for, and that's what, the countless hours we put in, that's what that leads up to.
Well, you guys certainly did your job in the offensive line because Tua had the time to kind of look off the one receiver and then make the strike to Devontae downfield. I'm curious, when you're a lineman like that, blocking a Georgia defensive lineman as well, how much of that play were you able to really see in the moment? Or are you just carrying through your assignment pretty much the entire time?
So it's, we go through our blocks, and then obviously you hear the crowd, gasp or whatever it is they do. It's hard to explain, that aspect of it, but you see the ball going through there and you just look up and it's like, please catch it. He caught it. I'm like, okay, let's go down and kick the field goal. And I'm like, no, we just won the game. And just like it was crazy. So you think you're getting ready to go kick an extra point, and it's you win the game, win the national title, and it's just nothing but confetti and celebration from there on. So
yeah, if you don't really get a walk-off home run type moment in football, but especially to win a national championship on that, really exciting. And for you, how quickly did it kind of change from the celebration of we won the game to, okay, now let's get this proposal plan in place?
So I think, I celebrated with my teammates. We did the ceremonies. We did everything, took all of our pictures. And then actually we were standing with all the O-linemen. We all got our big group picture. I got to find that picture, by the way. I don't know where that's at. So if anybody out there has that, I would love it. But anyways, we got our picture, and then I turned and looked at all my guys like, look, guys, because I didn't tell anyone what was going on because I didn't want them thinking my mind was in the wrong place or whatever it may be. I think only maybe two people on our staff knew that was what was going to happen. So I turned to all my guys and I'm like, look, I'm about to go propose. So you guys come on. Like, I want you to be there. So, Coach Key and Ross and JC and Jonah, all of those guys were over there, and it was really cool, really special. So
yeah, and you're really able to pull it off. Of course, Nikki said yes, and I mean, again, about as great a night as you could possibly have. She played basketball at Alabama, and that was your last game as wearing that Crimson Tide jersey. I mean, just everything came together.
It did. It was a very special night for the Bozeman household. So.
And again, you get to go to the Ravens, a 6th-round pick. You've been able to work your way up to some regular playing time and starting now for the Ravens. And also with that, you've been able to speak out with Nikki against bullying. Just how important has it been for your foundation to share that message across the country?
Yeah, so Nikki and I created the Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation, where we talk to at-risk kids who are getting bullied. We actually finished up a trip right after the Corona stuff hit, and we went from cross country from Maryland down to Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Albuquerque, California, and made it all the way back to Denver before we got cut off by the coronavirus. But we talked to over 10,000 students. I think uh, 13 different schools, and then 5 schools had to cancel on the way out, just because of all the COVID and all that stuff. So just it's been such an amazing ride for us, and to have this platform to be able to spread our message and to help these kids in need, because we found that, no matter whether it's Alabama or California or Albuquerque or Texas, it's all the same. I mean, everyone has problems. They all face the same problems, and it's a lot to do with social media and just the easy to be contacted by your peers, and really there's no safe space for these kids anymore. So we're just trying to do our best and to spread the word best we can. So.
Yeah, you mentioned you've been able to meet with a lot of schools. What kind of resources do you have through the foundation, especially now that you're not able to visit as many places as you normally would?
So right now we've been calling schools, doing like school Facebook takeovers, or do live videos and things of that nature, to be able to try to connect, and doing a lot of giveaways and a bunch of stuff like that. So right now we're kind of limited. We had a lot of things we're going to roll out this spring, but because of COVID, we're going to kind of push those back a little bit. So definitely stay tuned for those, because there'll be a lot of opportunities in our community. So.
And part of your tour across the country, you were doing so in an RV, and even it kind of made headlines that first couple of years in Baltimore, getting to live in an RV. You understand you're in a home now, but just what was that experience like, being in an RV for such a long, extended period?
Right. So Nikki and I were in an RV for, I think, 10 to 11 months. We bought an RV, and we had decided to move into it and then do a cross country afterwards. But it's been such an amazing experience. Nikki and I definitely grew in our relationship, because there's really nowhere to hide when you're in an RV. If you're in an argument, you got to figure it out pretty quickly, because if not, you'd just be mad, just steaming around each other. So it was definitely good for us. I think we've learned how to kind of cope with each other, and to kind of diffuse the situations, because we're pretty good about hashing it out pretty quickly. But I'll tell you one thing: Nikki is a trooper, because I don't know any other woman that could live with me in an RV. So, she was definitely a trooper, fixing things and cleaning things off the top of the campers and all that stuff. So she's definitely, I got a good one in her for sure. So.
That's awesome to hear. Well, as we start to wrap things up, of course, you guys in the NFL, like every sport, being affected by COVID-19 and not having a normal, for you, off season. And the same thing is happening in Tuscaloosa with the Crimson Tide. Just kind of what, now that players are starting to get back on campus, starting to do some voluntary workouts, just what do you hope the next steps are for the Alabama football team? And Coach Saban, as well as anybody, he's going to be prepared and have a plan for a situation like this.
Right, for sure. I know they're following all the guidelines and everything, but I also know they're working their butts off and doing everything they can, because I know Coach Saban won't take any less than that. But it's just to keep after the grind. I think they'll be fine this year. So hopefully everything kind of goes back to normal. We can get to some college football. So.
We'll look forward to that and the NFL with you and the Ravens. Just Bradley, thank you so much for your time. Roll Tide. Great to talk with you.
Yeah, Roll Tide. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Bradley Bozeman. We thank him for joining us, and thank you for coming along with us for this Radio Classics interview presented by Alabama One Credit Union. So long, everyone.